Hi, everyone. Welcome to a brand new episode of Not Aspirational. I'm your host, Hannah Aaron Brown. Welcome back, everyone. Okay, first and foremost, thank you all so much for all of your kind feedback about the episode with Danny. We had so much fun. I'm so glad y'all had so much fun listening to it. He's just the best, as we all know. And thank you so much for your kind reviews. They are so helpful and so appreciated, and they mean so much to me. So if you're liking the show, keep them coming. Leave a rating and a review. As Danny said, it only takes a couple seconds, but it makes all the difference in the world, especially for small independent podcasters like myself. Also, I got some DMs from y'all asking me if I will be recapping And Just Like That with Danny this year. And the answer to that question is I will be there whenever I am called upon. I will be there whenever I am summoned. So hopefully that's sometimes. I'm really looking forward to it, to the season, and it's going to be a blast. So keep an eye out. Like, if I am summoned, I will be there. Okay. So today's episode definitely has a theme. As you can see by the title, we have Mother's Day coming up, which, as you all know, is a little bit of a landmine of a holiday for me. So I wanted to, and we have Father's Day coming up next month, and my mom's anniversary is tomorrow. I'm recording this on a Sunday because my sister gets to town tomorrow, Monday, May 5th. And so my weekend's been just like full of preparing for my sister to come, which has been so fucking fun, and I can't wait to see her. But with Mother's Day coming up, I know that day is loaded for me. I know it's loaded for a lot of people, and so is Father's Day. And anyways, when there is a sad day, sometimes you just need structure and you need something to do. So that's what today's episode is going to be about. It is a sad girl itinerary for difficult days. And it doesn't need to be Mother's Day or Father's Day. It could be like, I don't know, like some anniversary of something shitty that happened to you, or like an ex's birthday, just a day that feels like emotionally loaded. And we're going to get into that in a second. But first, just like a couple things that I want to touch on. First of all, a tale, a not aspirational tale. So as I mentioned, I've spent this entire weekend preparing for my sister's visit, and it has been the most productive weekend of my life. And as a millennial, as a 30-something who is really raging against acting my age, this weekend was so fucking needed, and I didn't even realize how much. Because you know when you have someone coming to town, like that kicks your ass into high gear. There's nothing like someone staying with you to make you prep the shit out of your house and act like an adult. So like Friday night, I did a really nice, like bougie grocery haul. Like my fridge is stocked. I got a new flavor of Fly by Jing, aka my new favorite condiment. Then yesterday, Saturday, I got up early. I worked out, and then I spent the whole day deep cleaning my house. And like making the office into the guest room for my sister and making everything cozy and listening to podcasts all day and doing laundry. And there's like is truly no bigger gift in the world. But back to Friday. So Friday, I worked all day. I worked out, and then I went to Run Club at Orange Theory. Jake had happy hour with a colleague. And, you know, normally I'm quite the passenger princess. I rarely ever drive. So it was actually really nice for me to be able to like give Jake a ride to this happy hour, give him the opportunity to let loose with a friend. Like, I think he's overall a little bit less social than me. Like, he's more of a homebody. He can be really like happy just alone with the pets at home. So when he has social plans, I'm like, get out there, babe. That's awesome. And I know that sounds condescending and sarcastic. It's not. Jake, if you're listening, it's not. But I was so excited that he had something to do. So I was like, gorgeous. I will drop you off at this happy hour. I will knock out the grocery shopping. You fucking relax and have fun, babe. I got this. So I drop him off. I'm booping around. I hit like 3 different stores. We did Target. We did Trader Joe's. And we did Gelson's. So like a bunch of different spots because, you know, different stores have different things, right? And by the way, grocery shopping on a Friday night is lit because no one is fucking there. It was like peak vibes. I loved every second. I get home. This has been like a few hours at this point. I get home. I bring the groceries into the house. I pull my back. Again, back to raging against my age. I forget that I can't just willy-nilly be carrying heavy groceries into the house without being very mindful about, like, am I engaging my core? Am I using my legs? So I lift up these heavy groceries. I bring them into the house. I'm like, fuck, I pulled my back, and my whole back starts hurting. And I'm like, that is not good. At this point, I'm also hungry, and Jake is ready to be picked up. So I go to pick him up. Him and his colleague are tipsy, and I drive his colleague home because he, like, lives in the neighborhood. And Jake's like, okay, let's get dinner. And I'm like, okay, cool. And he's like, where do you want to go? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just, like, in pain and I'm hungry. And he's like, okay, let's go to this place. So we go to this place, and we're, like, trying to sit down, and they're like, oh, well, we have some patio space or bar space. And we're like, oh, we'll sit at the bar. But there was no space at the bar. And then Jake's, like, kind of drunk and is like, well, what do you want to do? Like, and he's in, like, a great mood. And I'm like, I get to a point where I'm hangry enough and I'm in enough pain and I'm tired enough where I'm like, I don't know. Can we just, like, I don't know, patio then? So we sit on the patio. Once I'm eating, all is well. Okay. Once those warm tortilla chips come out with the salsa and a margarita, I'm fine, okay? But I am still in pain. It's been a long day, mind you. So, you know, I eat and I'm starting to feel better, but I'm still, like, a little cranky. We get home. Jake's like, do you want to go to walk the dog? I'm like, no, I just need to take a shower. I'm so tired. I'm a little out of it. And he made some joke, and I got, like, snappy with him because I was irritable because of how cranky and tired I was. Even after I had eaten, I was still tired and cranky and in pain because of my back. So, like, he had made some joke, and I, like, kind of, like, snapped at him. I was like, wait, I didn't like that joke. And I was being kind of, like, bratty. So Jake's like, do you want to go to walk the dog? And I'm like, no, I need to take a shower. I need this shower so bad. I think I'll feel a lot better when I just, like, take an everything shower and get in my pajamas, and that'll reset me. So Jake's like, okay. So he leaves to walk the dog, and I see that he left his cell phone on the coffee table, but I'm feeling a little bit bad about the fact that I took a bunch of shit out on him. Like, it wasn't his fault that I was tired and cranky and that I pulled my back, and he was just, like, having a good time with a friend, and I felt bad that I kind of, like, shit on his good time, low-key. So I text him before I get in the shower, and I'm like, hey, babe, I know you left your phone at home, so you're not going to get this just yet, but I just want to say I'm so sorry I got sassy with you. You didn't deserve it. I'm just tired and cranky, and you're in a silly, goofy mood, and I'm not on your level right now. So, like, I'm really sorry. I'm sure I'll feel better after I take a shower, but I just wanted to apologize. I love you so much. So I'm like, hell yeah. Wife of the year, clear communication, owning my shit, sending him a cute little text. All is well, right? We can bring these vibes right back the fuck up, okay? So then I turn on the shower. I get nude. I'm in the buff. I'm waiting for the shower to warm up. And I'm like, well, I should, use this time efficiently. I'm going to clean my ears. So my back is to the bathroom door. My hair is, like, in a top knot. I did say everything shower. I did not wash my hair on Friday. So my hair is in a top knot. I'm in the buff. I'm cleaning my ears with a Q-tip, waiting for the shower to heat up. And the door bursts open, and Jake tipsily makes some joke. I couldn't even tell you what the joke was because I had such a rage blackout. Like, the Q-tip is in my ear. My ass is facing the door. And my naked body is facing the door. And I turn around and look at him like, are you fucking kidding me? Because it's like, I sent this, like, sweet, thoughtful text message. And I'm very clear about, like, this shower will fix me. All good. Love you so much. And he thinks it's a cute idea to just burst into the bathroom during my me time. I have my podcast on. The shower is heating up. This is my me time. After a whole afternoon of running errands and running around the valley, he thinks it's a good time to just burst in and make a little joke. And I was like, I get out of the shower. I'm like, oh my God. And he just, like, closes the door and giggles. Like, it literally felt like, it felt like a teenage boy just, like, fucking with me, being like, like, making fun of me. And, like, he thought I was in the shower. So he thought he was going to open the door and just, like, make a funny comment. And there would be a barrier between my naked form and his joke. But there wasn't. He didn't anticipate that I would be standing there cleaning my ears. Okay. And after I showered, I was like, Jake, how dare you? How dare you? Like, I had to make a boundary several years ago that he was not allowed to come into the bedroom when I was applying my self-tanner because, like, I didn't want him to see how the sausage was made. And then it dawned on me that there are two types of naked. There is sexy naked and there is hospital naked. Sexy naked is intentional. It's like, I'm feeling sexy. I'm going to get naked. Hospital naked is like when you take off your clothes when you have the flu and your whole body is sweating because you're puking so much. You know what I mean? And what Jake saw with me standing at bare ass to our door with a Q-tip in my ear was absolutely hospital naked. And I just had to bring this to everyone's attention because now you will always be clocking in your life, like whether you feel sexy naked or hospital naked. But like the distinction I have to make for my marriage to work is that like Jake should not encounter me when I'm hospital naked unless it is absolutely necessary. Absolutely necessary in case of emergency. But like there are certain situations where I'm hospital naked and that is not my husband's fucking business. Oh, I don't know if that was a good story or not, but it was to me. Two other things before we get into sad girl itinerary for difficult days. Jennifer Hudson. Okay, the Jennifer Hudson show. You know, there's like always those viral clips of celebrities like who are guesting on the show, like walking down a line of people who work for the Jennifer Hudson show, like singing to them. I saw Penn Badgley's, and Penn Badgley just looked like unreasonably hot. He's filled out a little. He shaved his head. He's looking real good. Okay, I don't really watch You anymore, and I don't really care to, but he was looking really good. But then it dawned on me. I was thinking, dancing down an aisle of people singing at me is my personal hell. Like I don't even like when people sing happy birthday to me because I don't like feeling like I have to like reciprocate. And in theory, if someone's singing to you, you should just be able to sit there, but that's like awkward. So you kind of have to like give it back to him a little, like, yeah. And like Penn Badgley did this beautifully when he was on the Jennifer Hudson show. But I was just thinking like, you know, love and light to the Jennifer Hudson show for doing that. I think it's so cute. I think the videos are always really entertaining, but like I personally could not be in that situation and come off as cute and charming the way Penn Badgley and all these other celebrities do, because it would give me such anxiety if two lines of people were just singing at me and I had to like dance between them. Like, oh my, can you imagine? I can't. I would rather not. One more thing, actually, two more things. The new Lorde album comes out June 27th, and that new single, What Was That?, was so fucking good. So fucking good. So just listen to it if you haven't. Lorde is the GOAT. And then there's some news on the Charlie XCX front. So she said in an interview that her cover art on Spotify and like across platforms is very intentional. So if you don't know, when Brat came out, she changed all of her album art from previous albums to match like the style of Brat, but like with different colorways. And she was like, yeah, it's super intentional. Because people were like, are we ever going to get the old cover art back? And she was like, it's super intentional. Like there's a plan for it. Well, now if you go on Spotify and listen to Brat, there's a scribble through Brat, and she's been like breadcrumbing both on her tour and on TikTok. Like there might be something coming. Like, oh, should we do Brat Summer again? Or like Brat Summer is forever. Like just all these cryptic things. And I'm like, Charlie, I've said this before, I'll say it again. My mental health was so fucking bad last summer. Like, yes, I did Brat Summer to the best of my ability, but like this is my Brat Summer. So like if there's a new album coming, like I need it now. And on the tour, there's like a curtain behind her that says Brat, you know, like it's green and the black text that says Brat. Now there's like gradually like large tears showing up in the curtain. And in some cities, it's been orange, an orange curtain that says Brat in the Brat font in black. So I need to know what Charlie's cooking up, like ASAP. And now I'm like, is orange the new color of the summer? Like, should I just go out and get an orange tank top? And I know I sound like I'm in Josie and the Pussycats right now, being like, oh my God, orange is the new pink. Like, But I like to be ahead of these things, and I like to channel Charlie as much as I can, because I feel like when I embody Charlie's Leo energy, it just makes me feel better about Hannah's Leo energy. So I don't know. I'm just really excited about it. And then before we get into the sad girl itinerary for difficult days, this week's grow up, I have two. Okay. One of them is complaining about people living far away when it's a matter of an hour drive. And this is inspired by myself. So the older I get, the more convenience is of value to me. Like if I go to a store where there's like a big, delicious parking lot and parking is convenient, I'm like, oh, that's great. And that is when I really feel my age. But I live in LA, baby. People, everything, what's the dad in Clueless is like, everything in LA takes 20 minutes. And like, that was in 1995 or whatever. Like, I feel like everything here takes 45 minutes. And for years, I think I've stifled my social life because I've been too lazy to deal with the logistics of like how to get across town to see friends who live all over. And to myself, I say, grow up. If you want to see your friends, fucking make it happen. It doesn't matter where they live. Figure it out. Spend the money on an Uber if it means priceless memories with your friends. Grow up. Don't complain about it. Just work with it, not against it. Let's not try and fit a square peg in a round hole. Let's just accept what the circumstances are and make the most of them. You know what I mean? And then the second one is being codependent as an adult. I have no desire to form relationships with people who need me too much. And that sounds brutal, but guess fucking what? I gave up my 20s to be there for my mom and my family. I'm not in the business of acting like someone's parent or boyfriend or bitch, to be frank. I think as an adult, it's like, yes, we all go through things. Yes, we all have to lean on people, but there is a difference between leaning on your people and being codependent. And when you treat everything like a crisis, it's like the boy who cried wolf, and it really exhausts the people around you. So it's like, yes, lean on your people, tap into your community, of course. But if every day is a fire drill, when it's not actually, and you just don't know how to self-soothe or like take care of yourself as a fucking adult, grow up. Stop putting pressure on your friends in a way that is like not rational. And go to fucking therapy and figure it out. I realize that sounds harsh, but I'm just like, everyone's got to grow up sometimes. And Jake taught me something actually very important. I'm sure I've said it before, but it really did change my life. He was like, yes, you've been through some shit and that's not fair. But like at a certain point when you become an adult, it becomes your job to deal with it. So it's like, we can't control the shit that happens to us in childhood. And it isn't fair. But at the end of the day, when you're an adult, it's your responsibility to figure out how those unfair things impact you as an adult and how you can work through them to move through the world as a kind, helpful, supportive, and productive member of society. And as a recovering people pleaser, I find myself falling into situations where I'm like, I feel like I have to provide and I feel like love is conditional. And to myself, I say, it's not, and grow up. So yeah. Okay. I feel like my energy is really weird today, by the way. I don't normally record on Sundays, as previously mentioned, and I don't normally record in this spot. And call me pretentious if you want. Like, it is totally valid to call me pretentious, actually. But the energy just feels off because of the day of the week and where I'm sitting. So I don't know if this episode is good. I just want to say that right now. I don't know if it's good, but we will forge ahead. Also, full disclosure, when I have an episode, my nose won't stop fucking running. And I think it's just because I'm Jewish and I'm like chronically ill. When I have an episode where I have like a really specific concept around it and I'm like, ooh, this is of value. This is good. I feel good about it. I have such a hard time recording it because I think I'm at my best when I'm kind of off the cuff. And so when it's super structured, I'm like, is this boring? Is this good? Ooh. And maybe I shouldn't be sharing that with y'all as my listeners because I don't want to sound like I'm like playing my tiny violin and anyone needs to like assuage me and be like, no, you're really good. Don't doubt yourself. Believe in yourself. You're really great. Girls Inc. inspiring all girls to be strong, smart, and bold. But I just like being transparent because, yeah, I never know if my show's good or not. Okay, moving right along. Sad girl itinerary for difficult days. This could be Mother's Day. This could be Father's Day. This could be any day that you just know and feel in your asshole is going to suck. And I want this to be something that you can go back to when you need a little pick-me-up, when you're feeling alone, because those tough days, those tough emotional days can feel so isolating. It can feel like you're the only person in the entire world who feels like shit that day. Especially on days like Mother's Day and Father's Day where it's like a national holiday and everyone's like posting about how much they fucking love their parents. And you're like, either mine isn't here or we don't talk, we don't have a close relationship, what have you. It can feel really lonely. So I want you to be able to come back to this episode whenever you're feeling alone and hear me say right now that you are not alone. I am with you. I am here for you. I'm thinking of you today. And if you're not sure to handle those days, here is what I think a perfect day looks like when you are going into a day where you know you might not be having the best time. And this is based on years of experience. As of tomorrow, I think it'll be 8 years since my mom passed away, 8 or 9. I'm a theater kid, not a mathematician. So this has been a lot of trial and error. And I think the struggle for me is always do I want to plan this day, like stuff it to the gills so that I'm just like distracted? Or do I want to do nothing and then I'm just like doom scrolling on my phone all day? And I've tried both. And the doing absolutely nothing has not been good for me because I felt even more lonely, even more isolated. It feels safer in the moment because you don't have to risk like talking to anyone who's going to like a sales clerk who's going to be like, are you meeting up with your mom later? And you're like, no. So it feels safer in the moment to stay home. But I do think like when I'm feeling depressed or down, having too much free time and too much space makes my brain like spiral anxiously and depressively. So, and then the flip side of that is when I've had too much structure and I've stuffed a whole day, I get really overwhelmed because I'm either white knuckling it to try and do everything I had planned. And it's almost like I put all this pressure on myself to be like, look, Hannah, you planned the funnest day ever. Aren't you having fun? Aren't you happy? Isn't this day so fun? And it's like, and then I could do all the funnest things and still be miserable because it's a sad fucking day. And then I shit on myself for like being sad and I don't hold space for being sad. And it's just a little too much. So I think the key is to split the difference. Okay. So here is what you're going to do if you're feeling sad on any given day. The key is to have a day that's structured so you're not alone and depressed, but fluid in nature. So it has some downtime built in just in case shit gets overwhelming and you need a break. Also, before we get into the actual nuts and bolts of the itinerary, I think it's important to take a deep breath. That was nice. And let's all just, as a sad girl community, acknowledge that feelings may or may not come up. You know, you could be like, I thought I was going to be more sad today and I actually feel okay. Or you could be like, I am a puddle of tears, if you will, and I'm fully incapacitated by my grief and by my sadness, and both are okay. So just imagine yourself on these challenging days surfing on a wave, and we're just riding that wave, baby. Hang fucking loose. There's no wrong way to ride that wave. We're just actively deciding to go surfing today so that the waves don't take us by surprise. You know, we're not going for a swim. We're like, no, I'm in my wetsuit. I got my board. We are going surfing, cowabunga on these sad days. And we're just going to ride those waves. Okay. So we're going to start the day with a slow, easy morning. So maybe that means you go to your favorite coffee shop and get yourself a coffee or a matcha, or you make yourself a yummy coffee at home. Maybe you go for a walk. Maybe you do a short but fun workout video. I personally find that easy breezy movement is such a quick unlock to be in a better mood, but to each their own. I think just moving that energy around can be really nice. Tinker around your house with a podcast, you know, have some breakfast, clean your kitchen. Maybe you start a load of laundry. So you've done some small productive things, but nothing that feels really, really overwhelming. We're moving, but it's slow, it's steady, it's easy. Then you're going to take a long shower. Now, this can be an everything shower where you do like, you know, the exfoliation and the conditioning masks and what have you, or it can be whatever, but you should feel very clean and sparkly. We're doing body butters, we're doing oils, whatever. You want to know that you smell good, okay? So take your time with this shower. Enjoy this shower. Use the nice body wash. Use the sample of that fancy shampoo your hairstylist gave you that you've been saving for a special occasion. You just want to feel really clean and sparkly and know that you smell amazing. Then you're going to get ready. You're going to wear an outfit that feels good, whether that means you feel cute or you feel comfy, whatever an outfit that feels good looks like for you. And do your hair and makeup, even if it's like a lazy hairstyle, because you always feel better when you feel like you look pulled together. I think the key to that is just like finding control where you can, which sounds depressing and maybe mentally ill. And maybe it's both of those things. But I find on these big emotionally heavy days, tapping into little ways to gain control always helps me just like feel a little more grounded in the day and not swept up in the whirlwind of emotions and grief. And again, like, it's okay to have negative feelings. You don't need to be in a good mood while you're doing any of these things, okay? It does not need to be a good day. The key is to just try and make it as easy for yourself as possible. From here, you're going to get out of the house because we have shit to do and we aren't just going to be sat on our phones all day because that will not fix anything. So here's some ideas for what that might look like. You could peruse Target. You could go to lunch. You could go to a cafe and read. You could hang out with friends if you want to see people. You could go to a movie. A movie with friends could be nice because you're not alone, but you don't really have to talk. And it's a nice distraction. You could go shopping. This is very, very important. At some point in the day, you will get yourself a gift, okay? You don't get to be with your parent today for whatever reason, or that special person in your life that you're missing. But that doesn't mean you don't deserve to celebrate either them or yourself. So get yourself a fucking gift. It can be a physical gift, or it could be a nice day out that involves something like a facial or a manicure or a really delicious meal somewhere. But like, get yourself a gift, okay? And again, this is not just geared towards Mother's Day or Father's Day, and it's not just geared towards people who have like physically lost a parent. You might have a complicated relationship with a parent, and those days can be kind of loaded for you. So at night, you're going to hunker down with dinner and a comfort movie or a comfort show on the couch. You can make dinner to a fun playlist a la Nancy Meyers, like play some fun music that either you love or, you know, that person that you're missing loved. Like, one of the ways that I like to connect with my mom the most is I find like a great recipe and I'll play music that she liked and I'll just like drink wine and dance around my kitchen and make myself like a delicious dinner. That's really fun for me. But you also might not fucking like cooking. So you could also order Postmates or whatever. And I know a lot of the suggestions I'm providing require spending money. If that is the solution, it's okay. Like, these days happen, but once or maybe a few times a year. We're just trying to get through it. Little treats are okay, and they really do make all the difference in the world. Maybe when you're on the couch watching your TV show in your comfies, maybe you're perusing Pinterest at the same time. Maybe you're online shopping, or maybe you have no devices in the room and you're all in on that movie. Maybe the solution is to have your phone in another room so that you can just fully unplug and distract and give yourself over to this movie you're watching. It's whatever sounds good to you, okay? Then you're going to read a comfort book until you're so tired you can't keep your eyes open, and you're going to put on some brown noise, and you're going to go to bed, and the day will be over. Also, this is important. Might I advise putting your phone on Do Not Disturb? And here's why. You're an amazing person. I love you so much. You're great. You're very beloved by everyone in your life. That being said, you might get some text messages that you're not really in the mood to read that day, coming from the people in your life who love you, coming from a kind, loving, supportive place. It could be something like, found this old picture of mom, thought you would get a kick out of it. Or, hey, I know today's a bad day for you. Just want to let you know I'm thinking of you. Those texts are so kind and they're so sweet. And I want to shout out everyone who sends those kinds of texts. It's also okay if they piss you off a little. It's also okay if you don't have the bandwidth to respond. It's also okay if you find them a little annoying or invasive, especially if it's someone you're not super close with. It's like, you think I want to talk to you of all people today? Like, please. So put your phone on Do Not Disturb. You don't need to look at those. You don't need to look at those like throughout the day, certainly. So I think that's something that took me years to learn. And then another thing that I'm going to say is avoid any curveballs, any wild card energy. I used to do some really stupid shit on these kinds of days where I would be like, it's my mom's birthday and I'm sad, so I'm going to like go meet up with a guy to like distract myself. It is as depressing as it sounds, trust me. And if that went wrong, it would make an already horrible day much fucking worse. So on these days, make sure you insulate yourself with people and places and activities that you can rely on, that are solid and stable and aren't going to overwhelm you or let you down or freak you out. That is very, very important. Your well-being has to be at the forefront of any plans you make, and try to avoid doing anything impulsive, because I think that even though it can feel like a momentary high when you're feeling low, the potential for it to backfire and make things worse is just like not fucking worth it. So the theme of these kinds of days, as far as what your self-care and what your itinerary looks like, is being gentle and allowing the day to be fluid. You could have this whole itinerary in mind. You could be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do today. And then like 1 o'clock could hit and you could be like, okay, I only had the bandwidth to like go to a coffee shop and read. And now I just want to go home and take a nap the rest of the day. And that's fine. So that's another important part is like having, I kind of said this at the top, but just to reiterate, like having enough structure that you don't feel like you're just this like amorphous ball of grief, like floating around in space that day, but like letting the structure of your day be fluid enough that if you change your mind or if you want to do something different than what you thought you would want to do, that you're not shitting on yourself, you didn't do anything wrong, you're not being productive enough. Like you just existing on those days is enough, and it's hard enough. So just give yourself grace to, yes, have a plan, but let that plan shift and change if it has to. So yeah, you're going to close out the day with a comfort book or a comfort show if you're the kind of person who falls asleep to TV, because that was me like for most of my life until I started living with Jake. And then you're just going to go to bed, and tomorrow's a new day. And sometimes on these days, and not even just these like super loaded days, like sometimes on any given day that kind of sucks, you just need to like take the L and be like, today sucks and tomorrow's going to be totally different. And I think sometimes it can get overwhelming when you're like, oh, like, where will I be 6 months from now? I hope I'm not feeling so shitty again. And when you're in these bad moods, like when grief really hits you, or depression or anxiety, it can feel like this is just life now. Like when you're in the depths of it, it can feel like it will never lift. But remember that all these things are like a fog where they'll lift and then they might settle back down like 6 months from now, and then they'll lift again. Tomorrow is a new day. So just take it 1 second at a fucking time. Take a deep breath and know that tomorrow is a new day. Whatever today looked like, tomorrow is different. It has the potential to be something entirely different. It has the potential to be the best fucking day of your life. And let's put that into the universe, that it will be the best fucking day of your life. And just know that whatever you're feeling, I am with you. I am here for you. I am sending you the biggest, not aspirational hug from beyond. And I'm sending you love. So I hope this was helpful. Someone recently asked me, what do you like talking about now that you don't consider yourself a Bravo content creator anymore? And I was like, feelings. I love talking about feelings and people and psychology and just like how to be a human and self-improvement. All that just really like makes me tick, or in the immortal words of James Lipton, those things turn me on. So I'm never afraid to talk about it. And I think it's so healing to just be able to like have community in these kinds of feelings that can feel really shameful and isolating. So I'm here for you. I'm sending you hugs. If you love the show, leave it a rating and a review. Follow me at Hannah Aaron Brown across platforms. Send this episode to a friend who needs it. If you know someone who you think could use this, send it to them. And hot girls who lost their moms or have weird relationships with their moms, we got this. We got this, okay? I will be thinking of you this weekend. Hang in there. Okay, love you. Bye.